So tell us your name.
I'm Bill Coleman with the Global Footprint Network, and you're going to hear three familiar terms that have already come up as part of the previous summaries. I want to make mention of Erica's fine note-taking and artwork over here, but I'm going to just speak to three of the main points that we covered. They have to do with the importance of integration, innovation, and forward-thinking policies that will help us achieve the sequestration goals that we think are important. I was happy to be a part of this conversation. I'd spoken to Pete earlier about the importance of having more discussion about the natural systems and the boundaries that they set by which this transition we're talking about will ultimately be successful. I got my wish having the opportunity to speak to carbon capture and sequestration. There are two components. There is the engineering component. There are the technological solutions to capturing and storing carbon in ways that can ensure long-term sequestration. And then there, of course, are natural systems. So we spoke about the importance of integrating both of those systems so that nothing is left unevaluated, so that everything remains on the table. As a result of that conversation, we began to understand that there's some real potential for carbon capture and sequestration, drawing on the rich menu that currently exists. We learned about the enormous data sets that can support successful movement towards an expanded carbon capture and sequestration capability. We talked about the importance of total cost accounting, a term you've heard before. We talked about hybrid life cycle analysis as a way to help us understand comparative costs. This will help us select successful technology options based upon an understanding of the complete cost pictures that these technologies represent. We talked about the importance of continued innovation in this arena because the data suggests that there is enormous capability, enormous potential for this technology to minimize the concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Of course, innovation is going to be driven by research monies, which hopefully will flow from now until the 2020 timeframe that we're talking about. But more specifically, we're talking about research into the individual technologies themselves and into the management tools and techniques that would help us select out successful technologies. An example was given about adaptive management techniques and the importance of those in addressing the continuing challenge of population pressure and growing demand for natural capital and for energy and natural resources that population brings. The third component of our conversation had to do with policy, the importance of policy to drive this process forward, not so much by continuing to reinforce punitive policies, but by developing incentive-based policies such as exist here in the state of California that can actually reward people for improving opportunities for carbon capture and sequestration. I want to thank David. I don't see him here. Where are you, David? Raise your hand, please, if you're in the room. For his contributions to the group. I don't see him, unfortunately. And Allison, where are you? Here you are. Say hello to the group. Anything that you'd like to add to this summary at this point?
Well, I would just like to add that... I would just like to add that at the very beginning, we all realized, I want to just be very clear because I see people shaking their heads and winking their eyes and stuff. The realization of everybody in the group is carbon capture and storage isn't working right now, and that the model that we're after is natural terrestrial sequestration and biogeomimicry. And while all possible solutions need to be explored and on the table, the best possible solutions are what nature's been doing for 3.8 billion years, and understanding that better and doing better of that. And it isn't just trees, it's the soils. The soils are the biggest carbon sink we have going left. The air is almost full, the oceans have problems, acidification, as you know. And then the new solutions that are about to come. And that's why we continue to look at the geotechnical solutions. The current ones are pretty much off the table, but that doesn't mean there aren't new ones that we haven't thought of. And that gets back to something that everybody has said all along, is that open political infrastructure. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you all.